How do you actually make a killer first impression like the main character Assane Diop in the hit Netflix series Lupin? So when you watch Lupin, the main character Assane literally weaves in and out of different situations and nothing bothers him. He's like a chameleon. He can get into whatever character. He just charms everyone and he gets away with everything. In the first part of the video, I covered what you can do to prepare for this first encounter. The vibe, the mindset, the mentality, the outfits, the character, everything. So make sure to check that out if you haven't yet. And in this video, I'm gonna cover what you can do to make that killer first impression when you actually make that first approach. Before you make that first approach, make sure your vibe is on point, whether it be listening to your favorite music or doing a little routine that you know that's gonna amp up your vibe. Do that. I like to usually listen to music and take a shower, right? And as I'm taking a shower, I just blast some music, turn up the volume, and I dance. When you communicate with that person, it's all about the vibe. I'm gonna say it again and again and again, right? And there's nothing better you can do than proactively doing something that you know is gonna amp up your vibe. Whether it be doing a little push-ups, dancing, singing, calling your friend, whatever it is, you do that. In the first part of the video, I talked about the base level of vibe that you want to have, regardless of whatever character that you choose to play, is a vibe of confidence and carefree. What is a confident and carefree person gonna do? In terms of your posture, you want to have an open and tall posture. Tall in the sense that you want to open up your heart, you open up your chest. You can be open and your whole vibe, your facial expression could be kind of like this as well. But no, you're standing straight, you're standing tall, and you're looking straight ahead, right? And then you're just vibing with them confidently. Nothing phases you. You're very open, right? You're assertive, you're confident, you're carefree. That's the vibe that you want to have. I genuinely do not recommend slouching at all, unless you're advanced level where you can slouch, but then you're gonna just groove and vibe. If you can pull it off, feel free. But in general, when you make that first approach, you want to have this open, standing tall, very assertive and certain and carefree vibe. A lot of the time, when people think of having a really killer first impression, they think about having this eye contact where they're just staring down, thriller type of vibe, eye contact. It's kind of no, that's a creepy vibe. That's a threatening vibe. Just have a very comfortable, carefree gaze, right? I'm just imagining there's someone in front of me and then I'm just staring at them. You're not overly concerned. There's no furrow. Just confidently gazing. You can also play around with your eye contact where if someone stares at you, don't look away or don't look down. Just acknowledge them. Don't be afraid to have a bit of a longer stare. It just shows you that you're a confident person who's here to vibe. A lot of people think that if you want to make a super killer first impression, you cannot smile. And when you smile, you're not going to be suave, you're not going to be sexy. That's not true at all. It's all about having this carefree vibe. Think about what Assane Diop in Lupin does. No matter which character he chooses to play, he never stops smiling. It could be about just a cheeky grin, or it could be about you're just laughing because something is really funny. Whatever it is, don't try to force it.
Don't force it, just let it happen.
Instead, just want to have a very genuine attitude about it. When something is really funny, laugh, It's completely okay for you to reveal your teeth. What women want is just that confidence, and that's what Assane has, to emulate that. Also, a lot of the time, guys like to smile. When I say smile, instead of smiling with your eyes like this, they kind of smile like this, just with your mouth, and that's really creepy, so don't do that. Studies say that over 60% of your communication is your tonality. It's not about having the most attractive voice, although it helps. It's more about actually having certainty and clarity with your voice. When you have a conversation, make sure to end your sentence. Make sure to not mumble. Also, when you meet someone for the first time, you're nervous. When you're nervous, what do? You speed up. You speak very fast. And when you speak very fast, what happens? You end up mumbling your words and you end up forgetting what you're gonna say. Instead of rushing to what you're gonna say, calm down, speak slowly, speak clearly. And when you don't know anything, pause. Oftentimes, having a pause is way more attractive than just trying to jam words and then just trying to like express one thing after another. You probably noticed throughout this video that sometimes I get excited and I speak very fast, and sometimes I'm more calm. Sometimes I have like a high volume, or sometimes I really speak with like a low volume. It depends, right? You have like a rhythm of your speech, and depending on what you want to emphasize, depending on what you want to convey, vary your tonality, vary your communication, vary your speech style. There's nothing more unattractive than having like a monotone, unless you really love communicating with AI. You are approaching them and you're speaking to them for the first time. One thing that's very important for you to remember is that when you go in, depending on where you're at, there is the general noise level in the environment. They could be playing loud music in the background, or it could be dead silence. Whatever environment you're in, make sure the energy that you go in with is one level higher. So let's say the music is thumping, is playing really loud. You can't just go in with this energy of, hi, how's it going? My name is Steven. Nice to meet you. They're not even gonna notice you. They're gonna be like, is this guy being creepy? You don't wanna go in with this energy. At the least bit, match the energy, but preferably go in with one level higher. So what you wanna do is walk up and be like, hi, my name is Steven. I just saw you from over there, and you just give me this vibe of very French. You wanna go in with a certainty, and you wanna make sure that you're heard, and you're being heard and you're listened to. And when they see you, they know that, wow, this person is someone. They're not messing around. That's the vibe that you want to have, going with like 100% certainty. A lot of guys, they think that, oh, what if other people listen to me? Like, what are they going to think about me? First of all, no one cares about you. So forget the notion that people are going to listen to you and people are going to pay attention to you. And second, at a certain point, you better get used to this idea that you're just doing your thing. And in order for you to actually showcase your vibe, it's gonna be very hard for other people around you to not notice you. So get used to it. When you think about having a conversation with your friends and family, just think carefully. Do you always ask them questions? No. A lot of the time, you state your opinions, you listen to them. Sometimes you ask questions, but it's a mix of questions and statements. So how do you actually do it? You make an assumption about where you think they're from. You make an assumption about what you think they're doing with their life. You make an assumption about how their day is going, how their night is going. There are so many different things. You give off a strong surfer vibe. You seem like you're really into Asian food. You seem like you're an only child. There's so many things. The important thing for you is to not get all the assumptions right. It's never about getting it right or wrong. It's more about actually having fun with it, having something outlandish and crazy for them to hear, and they're like, what? Like, what are you talking about, right? It's all about having this emotional conversation. So play around with it. The whole concept of creating an unforgettable first impression is way more in depth. So I'm actually gonna cover what to talk about, how to actually have an unforgettable conversation, much more in depth in another video. But for now, the general principle for you to remember is to really understand the person in front of you. Rather than just being really focused on showcasing your vibe, saying a lot of things, first and foremost, get the person in front of you. Obviously, you're the first one who's gonna approach, who's going to make yourself known. But as soon as they express an interest, they ask you a question. Hey, tell me more about yourself. Instead of bombarding them with all the crazy things in your life, think about your life like a 2-minute movie trailer. There may be 10 most impactful moments. Tell them one of them. Tell them 2 of them. Just tease them a little bit. Just plant the seed and see what they say. And talking about these moments allows you to actually navigate and determine whether there's something real there with the person in front of you. It's just kind of like a fun, short-term, fleeting, a surface level conversation, and that's it? Or do they actually show interest in what your life is about? So in this video, I covered what you can do to make that killer first impression. Remember, it's all about having fun. It's all about vibing. Put it to good use and keep calm and vibe on.